Donald Trump's alleged role in paying hush money to a porn star could soon lead to criminal charges against the former president, a first in U.S. history. Exclusive articles the Wall Street Journal published in 2018 triggered this investigation into Trump, and reporter Joe Palazzolo is still digging.
I did not expect 5 years later to be still talking about this case at all.
As a grand jury is concluding its investigation, let's look at the reporting that led to this pivotal moment and what could come next. Let's start in 2016, days before Trump's election victory, and years before porn star Stormy Daniels would tell her side in prime time.
And you had sex with him?
Yes.
You were 27, he was 60. Were you physically attracted to him?
No.
Not at all?
No.
During the 2016 campaign, Daniels and her manager were shopping her story of an alleged affair with Trump from a decade earlier.
She'd been on successful celebrity magazines, and tabloids didn't want to buy it.
Michael Cohen, Trump's personal lawyer at the time, was also approached with an offer to buy Daniels' story. That was in September.
Cohen says, go to hell, essentially. No. And then Access Hollywood happens.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the
And then, boom, it's like a 180. Stormy's lawyer is back on the phone with Cohen, and they're hashing out a deal.
Daniels agrees to $130,000 for her story in exchange for her silence and signs a contract on October 28, 2016. Journal reporters caught wind of Daniels around this time and, over months, worked to piece the story of the payment together.
So the first story ran in January 2018. It was pretty bare bones. I mean, what we said is what we knew, which is that Michael Cohen had arranged $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels. And so we had confirmed that he'd used a Delaware limited liability company, a shell company, essentially, to transfer the payment. And so those are the two stories that we reported in 2018 that really got the ball rolling.
A political firestorm erupted. Trump denied the affair and knowledge of the payment.
You have to ask Michael Cohen. Michael's my attorney, and you'll have to ask Michael.
Days later, FBI agents raided Cohen's home, which Trump called
A disgraceful situation. It's a total witch hunt. I've been saying it for a long time.
Federal prosecutors charged Cohen with campaign finance violations and other federal crimes. He pleaded guilty to all of the charges, telling a federal judge at the time that Trump had directed him to buy Daniels' silence.
I am providing the committee today with several documents, and these include a copy of a check Mr. Trump wrote from his personal bank account after he became president to reimburse me for the hush money payments I made to cover up his affair with an adult film star and to prevent damage to his campaign.
Despite Cohen implicating Trump in the crime, federal prosecutors dropped the case. But that still left the possibility of state charges, as the Trump Organization is based in New York. Cyrus Vance, the Manhattan District Attorney, stepped in. Ultimately, the DA's office decided not to bring charges. When Vance retired, the new DA, Alvin Bragg, initially decided not to pursue the hush money investigation.
There is a felony falsifying business records charge, but that requires the records to have been falsified to conceal another crime or to commit another crime. And, the obvious other crime here is the campaign finance crime, the actual payoff of Stormy Daniels to protect Donald Trump's campaign. But there has never been a case, or a state judge has never blessed the use of felony falsifying business records premised on a federal charge. In other words, these are state prosecutors, they're bringing a state charge, and in order to elevate it to a felony, they have to say that the crime that was concealed by falsifying these business records was a federal crime. So that's like a weird thing, and they decided it was going to be too risky to bring a case that was going to rely on an untested legal theory.
But then, in January, Bragg impaneled a new grand jury to investigate the payments. He hasn't said publicly why he changed course.
Everyone's surprised, frankly, because our reporting and others had shown that the office had looked at this so many times, had looked at it through kind of different lenses and decided each time not to bring it. The feds had passed up on the chance to bring it. So now here we are in 2023, and what's changed? I mean, we don't really know yet.
One thing that hasn't changed is Cohen's involvement. Trump's former lawyer testified before the grand jury last week and could be called to speak with them again.
This is all about accountability. He needs to be held accountable for his dirty deeds.
Trump has denied the affair and any wrongdoing, calling the investigation politically motivated. The Manhattan DA's office did not respond to requests for comment. If Bragg brings charges against the former president, it could shine more light on what happened in 2016.
An indictment's just an allegation, right? There are still, questions that I have even after having worked on this for so long. If the charges are focused on falsifying business records, like what did Trump know about repaying Cohen? There's a lot of sort of gaps in our knowledge about how this all went down. And then, I'm really curious to see if the DA has learned some new facts. Charges, if they come, I think would sort of begin just one more chapter